You're making lattes at 11 p.m. on a Tuesday. Your manager is 23. You have a degree. You don't talk about the degree anymore. Rewind. Week 1. You sit in your apartment. Diploma framed on the wall behind you. Graduation was 2 weeks ago. Your LinkedIn profile went live this morning. Profile picture. You in a button-down, glasses straight, posture perfect. Headline: Recent graduate, computer science, open to opportunities. You open your laptop. The screen glows in the dim room. You've prepared for this moment for 4 years. You pull up a job posting. Junior developer, entry level, $55K. You read the description twice. You have 3 of the 5 required skills. You have the degree. You customize your resume. You write a cover letter. It takes 40 minutes. You hit submit, your chest lifts. You've done something. You've started. You apply to 5 more jobs that day. Each one feels like progress. Your phone sits next to the keyboard. You check it every 10 minutes. No response yet. That's normal. You know it takes time. Your mom calls. How's the job search? Just started. Applied to some places today. That's wonderful. You'll find something soon. You believe her. You believe yourself. You don't know yet that you're walking into a trap that was already built. You don't know that companies stopped hiring entry-level people 6 months ago. You don't know that the roles you're applying to are being automated in real time. You don't know that your degree, the thing you were promised would protect you, is about to become almost worthless. All you know is that you're applying. All you know is that something is starting. But here's what you need to understand. The market didn't just get harder. It transformed. And by the time you realize it, you'll have applied to 200 jobs. You'll have been rejected by all of them. And you'll be making lattes. So how does a degree stop mattering? And what happens when you realize the system was built to fail you? Before we get there, you need to see exactly how the trap closes. The setup. You don't see it coming because nobody tells you. The job market didn't just get harder. It transformed while you were still in school. Entry-level roles are disappearing, not slowly, fast. 6 months before you graduated, a company you'd never heard of released a tool that writes code. Another released one that drafts legal documents. Another automated data entry. The companies you're applying to didn't announce layoffs. They just stopped posting junior positions. They automated those roles instead. Your classmates don't know this either. They're posting on LinkedIn. Excited to announce I've accepted a position as junior developer at company. You see the post. You recognize the company. You applied there in week 2. They never called you back, but they called them back. That's survivorship bias. You're seeing the winners. You're not seeing the 200 other graduates from your school who applied to the same companies and got rejected. You're not seeing the pattern. But the pattern is there. Companies are posting fewer entry-level roles. The ones they do post ask for 3 years of experience or AI-assisted workflow expertise. The headcount is lower. The requirements are higher. The gap between what you have and what they want is widening every single day. You're still applying to jobs that are being deleted in real time. You don't know that yet, but you're about to find out. Month 1, 30 applications. You apply to 6 jobs on day 1. By day 3, you've applied to 15. You're customizing each resume. You're writing individual cover letters. Each application takes 30 to 40 minutes. You tell yourself this is the right approach, quality over quantity. Your phone stays on the desk next to your laptop. You check it every 10 minutes. No emails yet. That's normal. You know it takes time. Day 5. You've applied to 23 jobs. Your inbox is empty except for automated confirmations. Thank you for applying. We'll be in touch. They never will be. You don't know that yet. Your dad texts. How's the search going? You. Good. Applied to a lot of places. Your dad. That's the way. Keep pushing. You keep pushing. Day 8. 28 applications. Day 9. 30 applications. You hit the number and something shifts. 30 feels like a real number. 30 feels like effort. 30 feels like you're in the game. Then the first rejection arrives. Friday morning, 9:47 a.m. Form letter. We've decided to move forward with other candidates. No feedback. No explanation. Just a door closing. Your jaw tightens. You read it twice. Then you do something important. You rationalize it. This is normal. Everyone gets rejected. One rejection means nothing. The next application will be different. You apply to 5 more jobs that day. You're not customizing anymore. You're using templates now. You tell yourself you're being efficient. You're not. You're starting to accept rejection before it even arrives. You're training yourself to apply faster, care less, expect nothing. By the end of month 1, you've applied to 30 jobs. You've gotten 5 rejection emails. 2 companies ghosted you after phone screens. They called. You interviewed? They said they'd be in touch, then silence. No follow-up. No explanation. You're still in the game. Or at least, that's what you tell yourself. But something has already changed. The rejections don't feel like warnings anymore. They feel normal, expected, part of the process. You've accepted the system's logic. Apply to enough places, one will stick. You don't realize yet that you're playing a rigged game. You don't realize yet that the system changed while you were still in school. You don't realize that the 30 applications you sent are disappearing into a void designed to reject you. All you know is that you're still applying. All you know is that the next one will be different. But it won't be, because by month 3, you'll understand something that breaks everything. The companies you're applying to aren't hiring entry-level people anymore. They're replacing them. Month 3, the pressure arrives. You've applied to 90 jobs now. Customization is gone. Templates only. Cover letters became form letters. 2 interviews last month. Both ghosted after final round. The hiring manager from the first will call by Friday. Friday came. Nothing. The second was worse. 4 hours of technical questions. He smiled. Great conversation. 3 weeks of silence. Your phone is in your hand constantly now. Checking email every 6 minutes. LinkedIn notification arrives Tuesday. Your classmate posted, "Excited to announce I'm joining TechCorp as junior developer." You recognize TechCorp. You applied month 1. Form rejection week 3. Your stomach drops. Then the email arrives. Student loan servicer. 25 hours you don't have. Your jaw is tight. You close the email. You apply to 15 jobs that week. Faster, sloppier, desperate. Your friend texts, "Any callbacks?" You, too, ghosted me. But I'm applying more. A lot more. Your hands shake when you hit submit on the last application. You don't name what's happening. You won't. But something has shifted. The game isn't optimistic anymore. It's survival. And you're not winning. But you still don't understand the real trap. The companies you're applying to stopped hiring entry-level people months ago. Month 5, when you understand. You're scrolling through job postings at 2 a.m. Same companies, same departments. But the titles have changed. 3 months ago, junior developer. Today, AI-assisted developer. 3 months ago, accounting associate. Today, data analyst, AI-supported. You click on the AI-assisted role. Same company, same building, same floor, probably. But the headcount is lower. The requirements are higher. 5+ years experience preferred. You have 0. Your stomach tightens. You open another posting. Same pattern. Another. Same pattern. You're not applying to jobs that exist. You're applying to jobs that are being deleted while you watch. The companies didn't hire entry-level people. They automated those roles. You've been applying to positions that are disappearing in real time. Your degree was supposed to protect you. Your 3.8 GPA, your internships, your portfolio. Nothing prepared you for this, because nothing could. The system changed while you were still in school. You close the laptop. Your hands are cold. You check your phone. 247 applications sent. 0 offers. Your friend texts, "Still applying?" You stare at the message. You don't answer, because now you understand you're not failing. The system already failed you. And the worst part? You're still playing by the old rules. And in month 7, you'll make a choice that locks you into a cage you won't escape for years. Month 7, the cage closes. You need money, not in 3 months. Now. The coffee shop near your apartment has a help wanted sign in the window. $16 an hour. Evening shifts. You can apply during the day, work nights, keep sending applications. It's temporary. Everyone does this. You've heard it 100 times from people who made it work. You walk in on a Tuesday. The manager is 23. Her name tag says Maya. She's friendly. She asks when you can start. This week? Perfect. You don't tell her about the degree. You don't tell her about the 247 applications. You don't tell her about the $400 loan payment due in 9 days. You just say yes. First shift arrives. You're making lattes with a computer science degree. Your hands move through the motions. Steam, pour, latte art. Your manager is half your age. Your coworkers are college students. You don't think about it. You can't think about it. Then your phone buzzes. 11:47 p.m. The loan servicer. $400 has cleared from your account. Automatic payment. Your stomach drops. You're now trapped in a new cage. You can't take unpaid internships. You can't relocate for entry-level roles. You can't afford to be selective. The barista job was supposed to be temporary. It's been 3 months now. But the real damage isn't the money. It's what you've started to believe about yourself. The real cost. You stop opening LinkedIn. Not consciously. You just don't. The app sits on your phone. You scroll past it. Your thumb doesn't tap anymore. A classmate posts, 1 year at company. So grateful. You see the notification? You don't click it. You don't read the comments. You swipe it away. Your coworker at the coffee shop asks what you studied. Oh, just general stuff. You don't say computer science. You don't say degree. The word feels dangerous now. Like admitting you failed at something that was supposed to be a guarantee. Your chest gets tight when someone asks about your plans. You've stopped making plans. Plans require believing the system works. You don't believe that anymore. Instead, you believe this. Credentials don't protect you. Hard work doesn't guarantee anything. The system lied about meritocracy. And somehow, that lie became your fault. You see your reflection in the espresso machine. 23 years old, overqualified for this job, underqualified for anything else. The gap between who you thought you'd be and who you are has become a chasm. You're not grieving a job anymore. You're grieving a future that was promised to you and systematically dismantled. And the worst part? You're still trying to fix yourself instead of understanding the trap was never designed for you to win. But here's what nobody tells you. The psychological damage outlasts any financial recovery. The truth. If you're in month 1 of applications right now, understand this. The game changed. Not last year, last quarter. The market you thought you were entering doesn't exist anymore. Entry-level roles are disappearing faster than you can apply to them. AI isn't coming for your job. It already came for the job before yours. If you're in month 5, you're not failing. The system is. You did everything right. The degree, the internships, the portfolio. The system just didn't design for you to win anymore. And if you're in month 7, Working a job you're overqualified for while loan payments drain your account? Know this, it's not temporary. It's the new normal. You can't afford to be selective anymore. You can't relocate. You can't take unpaid internships. The cage closed the moment you needed the money. The only escape is understanding one thing. The trap was never about you. You did everything the system promised. You followed every rule. You were supposed to be protected. You weren't. Because the system didn't fail, it worked exactly as designed. It just didn't design for you. So here's the question. At what point did you realize the rules had changed? And more importantly, when you did realize it, why did you keep playing? To understand how the system locks people into debt they can never escape. Watch this next. That's it for this one.